This video is the next video in the algebra set of videos, and in particular we're going to look at algebraic division in this video. There are plenty of types of simple algebraic division. However, in this video we're going to focus on long division. Example 7.1 says divide 2x cubed plus x squared minus 13x plus 6 by x plus 3. We could rewrite this as x cubed plus x squared minus 13x plus 6 all over x plus 3. There's various ways in which you can do algebraic division. For example, you could use the array method, very similar to how you would have used the array method when multiplying two algebraic expressions. However, in this video, we will go through long division. Long division can be completed by writing x plus 3, the thing that we're going to divide in, on the outside, then a square root, and writing the thing that's going to be divided, or the expression that's going to be divided into, underneath the square root. When we do long division in terms of algebraic expressions, we have to ask ourselves, if we have 2x cubed and we divide it by x, what will we be left with? And when we divide 2x cubed by x, we're left with 2x squared. And that's what I write on top here. Next, I multiply the 2x squared by the x and by the plus 3. Doing that, I'll end up with 2x cubed, and 2 times plus 3 will give us 6, and then the x squared comes with it. Next, we change our signs, and I always change my signs in a different colour, just to make sure I know which signs I'm working with. We have 2x cubed minus 2x cubed will give us 0. And then we have x squared minus 6x squared, which will give us minus 5x squared. Now we have minus 5x squared, and we bring down the next term, which is minus 13x. We then have to ask ourselves, if we have minus 5x squared, what would it be if we divided it by x? And minus 5x squared divided by x will give us minus 5x. Again, we now multiply the minus 5x by x, and we multiply the minus 5x by 3. When we multiply the minus 5x by x, we get minus 5x squared, and the minus 5x by 3, we get minus 15x. Again, we change our signs, so we get a plus and a plus. We underline and we add the two together. We have minus 5x squared plus 5x squared, which will cancel out and give us 0. And then we have minus 13x plus 15x, which will give us 2x. Finally, we bring down the last term, which is plus 6. Next, we have to ask ourselves, if we have 2x and we divide it by x, what will the 2x become? Well, when we have 2x and divide it by x, it will become 2. Again, we multiply that out, so we get 2 times x and 2 times 3. 2 times x gives us 2x, and 2 times 3 gives us 6. Again, we change our signs. This becomes a minus and a minus. We underline and we add the two lines together. 2x minus 2x will give us 0, and 6 minus 6 will also give us 0. As we have 0, 0 at the end, we're now finished. And up here at the top, when we divide 2x cubed plus x squared minus 13x plus 6 by x plus 3, we get 2x squared minus 5x plus 2, and that's the answer to our question. Example 7.2 is very similar, it's just worded a little bit different. Here it says 3x minus 1 multiplied by gx equals 3x squared minus 22x plus 7. Find g of x. Here we have an equation with 3x minus 1 multiplied by g of x equal to 3x squared minus 22x plus 7. Now, if we want to find what g of x is, we just divide both sides by 3x minus 1, as that's in the way, or multiplied by g of x at the moment. What happens then is we end up with 3x squared minus 22x plus 7 divided by 3x minus 1. When we're left with something like this, we can find g of x with long division. Again, we write what we're dividing in on the outside, which is 3x minus 1. Open up our long division, and on the inside we write 3x squared minus 22x plus 1. Next, we can then say to ourselves, if we have 3x squared and we divide that by 3x, what are we going to be left with? Well, 3x squared divided by 3x will leave us with just x. Now I multiply the x by the 3x and the minus 1, and when I do that, I'll be left with 3x squared minus x. Next, I change my signs and I underline. Next, we add the two lines together. We have 3x squared minus 3x squared. That will give us 0. And we have minus 22x plus x, which will give us minus 21x. Then we bring down the plus 7, like so. Next, we say to ourselves, we have minus 21x. And if we divide the minus 21x by 3x, what will we be left with? Well, we'll be left with minus 7. So then we have to say to ourselves, minus 7 times 3x will give us minus 21x, and minus 7 minus 1 will give us plus 7. Again, we change our signs and we underline. Make sure you change your signs in a different coloured pen, not to get the signs mixed up. Next, we add them together. We have minus 21x plus 21x will give us 0. And plus 7 minus 7 will also give us 0. As we've got 0 at the end, we can see that 3x minus 1 will give us x minus 7 when it's divided into 3x squared minus 22x plus 7. Example 7.3 goes through another type of question where you will have to do algebraic division. It says a garden has an area of 4x squared plus 20x plus 25 square meters. The width of the garden is 2x plus 5 meters. What is the expression for the length of the garden? Here we have the area of a garden. Here we know that the area is equal to 4x squared plus 20x plus 25. The width of the garden is 2x plus 5, and we want an expression for the length. So this here is what we need to figure out. Area is just length by width. So if we have 4x squared plus 20x plus 25, well then that's going to be equal to the length, which we're trying to figure out, multiplied by 2x plus 5. Now if we're trying to figure out what the length is, we can divide both sides by 2x plus 5. And when we divide both sides by 2x plus 5, we'll be left with the length equal to 4x squared plus 20x plus 25 divided by 2x plus 5. What we're left with now is an algebraic division. We have 4x squared plus 20x plus 25 divided by 2x plus 5. I'm going to solve this using long division. We write 2x plus 5 on the outside, and underneath the square root we have 4x squared plus 20x plus 25. Again, I have to say to myself, if I have 4x squared here, what would it be if I divided 4x squared by 2x? And what I'll be left with is 2x. Then I multiply the 2x here by 2x and by 5. The 2x by 2x will give us 4x squared, and the 2x by 5 will give us 10. Next, I change my signs, and I change my signs in a different colour to make it easy to spot which ones we're using. I underline and add the two lines together. 4x squared minus 4x squared will give us 0. And then we have 20x minus 10x, which will give us 10x. Then we bring down the 25 and it becomes 10x plus 25. Next, I have to ask myself, if I have 10x and I divide that 10x by 2x, what will I get? Well, if I divide 10x by 2x, I'll get plus 5. Then I multiply 5 by 2x and 5 by 5. When I do that, I'll be left with 10x, as 5 by 2x is 10x, and 5 by 5 will give me 25. Next, I change my signs, a minus and a minus. I underline and add the two lines together. We have 10x minus 10x, which is 0, and 25 minus 25, which is also 0. Therefore, when we divide 4x squared plus 20x plus 25 by 2x plus 5, we end up getting the answer of 2x plus 5. Therefore, going back to what the question asks us, it says, what is the expression for the length of the garden? Well, the length of the garden is 2x plus 5. And we can say that here, down at the bottom, length equals 2x plus 5. As we finished example 7.3, that brings us to the end of this video, which is all about algebraic division.